So Nike again is taking heat over Colin Kaepernick. This time it is over the Betsy Ross flag that was stitched in on a, I guess, celebratory line of Nikes for the 4th of July upcoming. And word got back to Colin Kaepernick that they were going to put out these shoes with the Betsy Ross flag. And Colin Kaepernick called up his people at Nike and said no. And so Nike has decided to pull it. Colin Kaepernick's justification or reasoning for this, as it's reported, no one has been able to speak to Kaepernick himself, but as it reported through Nike, that Kaepernick did not like the association that flag had with slavery. Betsy Ross flag, 13 stars, 13 colonies, obviously during the height of American slavery. And so conservatives are losing their minds. And I guess that's to be expected to a certain extent, mainly because that's what conservatives are going to always do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if a position is meritorious. It doesn't matter if they know we're right. It doesn't matter if they believe the same thing that we believe. Conservatives' job will always be to take the opposition against no matter what. So yeah, I mean, we fully expected them to do this over over Colin Kaepernick and this flag situation. But keep in mind, they would do it no matter what. They will always stand on the opposite side of anything that is remotely progressive. You can guarantee that. So, okay, so they're losing their minds and saying, oh, so it actually was about the flag all along. Well, this flag is even more problematic than the United States flag that we have now. And in fact, actually, I almost fell into their trap. That's what they want us to frame the conversation. Framing the conversation, they have been able to shift what Colin Kaepernick's protest has been about conveniently. At will. They just shift, right? Colin Kaepernick says it's about he's protesting the Star Spangled Banner, or he's protesting police violence in this country. Republicans say, oh, he's protesting the Star Spangled Banner. We find a legitimate reason that he could just be protesting the Star Spangled Banner, the infamous third verse, and Republicans not only ignore that, but they shift gears and say now, oh, he's protesting the police. All the while, Colin Kaepernick is saying I'm protesting police violence. And then they move the ball again. He's not protesting the Star Spangled Banner. He's not protesting the police. He's protesting our troops. He's protesting our flags. You see how conservatives will always be able to move the ball because they have absolutely no intention of ever engaging in good faith. And so based on that alone, we should not even waste time trying to argue with Republicans when they come out like this against something. Obviously, we have to stand our ground. Right? We have to stand our ground, rhetorically speaking. We have to stand our ground and fight back and not allow them to gain or cede any territory to them in the culture wars. But the fact remains, though, we should not engage with them as though they're engaging in good faith. Don't cede ground, but don't give more good faith to them than they deserve, and they deserve none because they have no intention of ever engaging in good faith on the merits of an argument. Their position will always be in opposition to anyone fighting for something remotely progressive. Now, that being said, one last thing about this Colin Kaepernick, Betsy Ross flag situation. That flag has been co-opted, and I guess it's not really much co-opting that has to take place. But it has been co-opted by far right-wing white nationalist organizations that are expressly and directly protesting against the browning of America. They're protesting against the changes in America that they feel don't represent conservative values. You know, that they have adopted this flag, and it has become the symbol of their opposition to our existence. OK, and so if Colin Kaepernick actually just said, hey, this flag that you're putting on, it's not only connected to slavery, but it's currently being used as a symbol of people who would like to go back to slavery. That is a valid argument. Colin Kaepernick could have said that. He just limited it to slavery. But none of that matters, because no matter how valid the argument against these racist symbols that should still come down, regardless of what affection you have for that symbol, it does not negate the fact that it is a racist symbol. So anyway, I don't even know what I was saying at this point. What I was saying is that conservatives will never, ever engage in good faith when they know their symbols are soaked with the blood of racism and systemic oppression and white supremacy, and it always has been.